Okay, hello everybody, it's Jingles. I mean, who else would it be? I mean, I don't even know why I bothered to say that, but anyway. I'm doing another update video. This one's kind of fairly substantial, I guess. Yeah, I'd say it's fairly substantial. Because I want to discuss a few things kind of specifically, even though I'll probably forget half of it, because I never take notes for these bloody things, and I probably should, but anyway. Basically, I want to kind of discuss a bit like the future of the channel, where it's going, in terms of the Let's Plays and things like that, and what Let's Plays I'll be doing in the future, as well as changes to kind of the format in which I upload my videos and that kind of thing. So don't worry, don't panic, it's nothing major or horrible, so it's just a few kind of little things really. So to begin with, at the minute I'm doing kind of two regular Let's Plays. I'm doing Invasion Barbarorum and I'm doing Crusader Kings 2. We were doing Baldur's Gate, except I've cancelled that. For those of you who don't really kind of know, because I probably didn't actually do an update video about it. I think I only announced it really on Twitter. Baldur's Gate is gone from the channel. Essentially, the playlist is gone. I deleted all the videos. Because I wasn't happy with it. I didn't like those videos. I didn't feel like I was doing the game justice, most importantly of all, really. So I decided to get rid of those videos. I'm sorry if you did enjoy them and you wanted to watch them again, I guess, but I just didn't really like having them on my channel, I suppose, and well, I just felt like getting rid of them. It's not the first time I've done it. Half of you probably won't even know this thing existed, but I used to have an IL-2 Sturmovik Let's Play on this channel, which has gone the way of the dodo because it was really terrible. It was actually quite bad, even by my standards at the time. So I decided eventually to just delete it because I thought a lot of the feedback for it was quite negative, and yeah, well, anyway, I didn't enjoy that Let's Play within about 2 hours of starting it, so I got rid of it, and I've decided to do the same thing with Baldur's Gate. It's not quite as extremely bad as IL-2 Sturmovik turned out to be, but I still am not even remotely happy with it, beyond like the first episode or so. I do intend, like I kind of originally said, to come back to Baldur's Gate and do it again. I will. Potentially quite soon, actually, but anyway, more on that in a bit, I guess. But yeah, that's where that's disappeared to, in case you're wondering. In terms of like other Let's Plays I've been doing, or was doing, like Hidden and Dangerous 2 and Age of Empires, I kind of feel like I want to draw a line under that, really. I kind of want to draw a line under all the stuff I was doing prior to me taking that fairly lengthy break from the channel, and then coming back again, because I kind of want to keep going, starting new with all the fresh stuff I've gotten started, like Invasion Barbarorum and Crusader Kings 2, rather than having to traipse back to the old stuff, which I've not updated or recorded for in ages. Hidden and Dangerous 2 was like a good idea at the time, but I just have no interest in playing it right now. I will leave the videos up on the channel in case people do want to watch them. I'm probably going to delete the playlist, so you'll just have to search through my uploads to find them. It's not that difficult now. YouTube's added a little search bar on everyone's channel. But yeah, I think I want to draw a line under that. I just don't want to be tied down by the baggage of those previous Let's Plays, which aren't really going anywhere. I mean, the exception to that is probably, well, there are a couple of exceptions, them mainly being, obviously, Oblivion. That's going to come back when I do Volume 2 of that. Hardcore Morrowind, which I will inevitably go back to at some point, and Age of Empires 2, while I am almost not going to say that's officially a Let's Play, again, I might just get rid of the playlist for that, but I will maybe occasionally upload Age of Empires videos when I feel like playing Age of Empires, because it is one of those games, a bit like Morrowind, where I do occasionally just get the urge to play it, especially now I've got the HD edition of it, you know, so I will occasionally probably put a Age of Empires 2 video up every now and again when I'm in the mood for it, but it won't be regular enough to really count as a proper Let's Play, so therefore I think I'm going to delete the playlist for it, because there's no real reason for it to be in a playlist, I suppose. So, unless I just retitled it Random Age of Empires videos, I don't know, I could do that just so it's easier to find, but anyway. So yeah, that's where those kind of things stand at the minute. Like I said, I want to draw a line under it, move on with the new stuff that we've got at the minute, and it's easier, really, so I don't have to keep constantly mithering and worrying and kind of just wringing my hands about the older ones and thinking, when am I actually going to find time to do these? Should I just axe them now, or should I keep going in case I do want to carry on with them, or what? I just feel like I should just put my foot down and just say no more. Stop mucking about and dilly-dallying about with those things and just say no more and leave it at that. So, apologies if you guys were enjoying those videos. I haven't updated them in ages anyway, so you're not missing anything exactly, but you know, I'm sure there are plenty of people on YouTube who have done Let's Plays of those games that you could watch anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, so moving on, in a slightly more positive note, because that's not a particularly great way to start off this video, I suppose, but anyway, on a more positive note, I've kind of been sitting around thinking a bit, because I've got two Let's Plays on the go at the minute. They're both strategy games, and I like strategy games and RPGs in very much equal measure, and too much of one and not the other kind of irritates me a bit sometimes. At the minute, we're only doing strategy games. We're doing Crusader Kings 2 and Invasion of Barbarorum and nothing else at the minute. And, this means I have, you know, almost like loads of free time where I'm not doing anything because it's only two Let's Plays that upload quite slowly. And I feel like I could be doing some more because I have enough time to be doing some more, and, you know, I like to be productive. So, you know, I do have time for another Let's Play, especially since I'm now cutting the videos down to... yeah, this is another thing I should get out of the way as well. I'm cutting the length of my videos down from the kind of average half hour or so that they've been, you know, the last couple of months or so, down to a standard kind of 15 to 20 minutes length instead. The reason for that is it's becoming increasingly difficult for me to upload long videos just because of my slightly awful internet connection. The last Crusader Kings 2 video I did as of the date of this recording, it literally took me about 4 or 5 hours to upload. And honestly, that's just not acceptable to me. It really isn't. It's become a serious problem as well when I want to stream sometimes, because it's happened more than once. More than once has been the case when I want to do one of the Stalker streams. I had to actually cancel the upload for that day's video because I couldn't stream and upload at the same time. And even if I started the upload in the morning, quite often it still would not be entirely done by the time I wanted to start streaming, and then therefore it meant I had to stream really late, like 10 o'clock and onwards, and that was just getting completely ridiculous because it was on a weekday and loads of people who wanted to watch my stream couldn't because it was a weekday and it was 10 o'clock at night. It was ridiculous. So having the shorter videos which are easier to upload is better. And also in the same vein as that, they're not only going to be shorter, but I'm actually going to go back to using 720p footage like I did back when I started sort of Oblivion. Although it's a bit better quality than that because I've learned a lot about how to make make videos properly since then. You know, I've got better software and stuff like that. But I'm going to go back to using 720p footage because it doesn't. The degradation in quality is so very minor. I've kind of discovered after really studying like examples and experimenting with it a bit, because, well, you know, I have DxTory now instead of Fraps, which is very, very good at downscaling the size of the footage without any real degradation in quality. And the result of changing the resolution down to 720p and cutting down the size of, you know, the length of the videos, it reduces the size of the videos like by almost half, which means I can effectively upload almost twice as much stuff in a day than I normally would. So yeah, anyway, back to what I was originally saying before I kind of got a bit sidetracked there, because I forgot to mention something in the first place. There is room for another Let's Play, really, when it comes to the weekdays. I don't know exactly how I would lay it out. I think maybe I'd be doing 2 videos a day, each one of a different Let's Play, and I just kind of alternate depending on the day. Like, one day I would do Crusader Kings 2 and Invasion of Barbarorum, next day I would do Invasion of Barbarorum and like a new Let's Play, and then the day after that I do that new Let's Play with Crusader Kings 2. I don't really know how that's going to work exactly. I'll figure something out. It's not that hard. But there is room for another Let's Play, and I've been sitting around and thinking, and eventually what I did was I drew up a kind of list of games that I would like to Let's Play and lists of game and sort of organise them by whether I could let's play them now, right now, whether they were blind or non-blind or semi-blind or whatever. And this is basically what I've come up with. So what I'm going to say right off the bat is this isn't a kind of vote or a poll or anything like this. This is not going to be a case of like vote for which one you want to see next and I'll play that, because ultimately I'm going to play whichever game I feel like playing the most first. But at the same time, it would be nice to share this kind of list I've got with you guys and just see what your thoughts are on the different things I've got on here and what you would like to see and that kind of thing. You know, don't be afraid to say I'd like to see this or that. But all I'm saying is this isn't a vote. You know, this isn't a poll or anything like that. It's not like I did for when we started doing Rome Total War. So, okay, right. Well, basically, to begin with, I've got a few games. Now, this is by no means all the non-blind games I have. These are just the ones that I would be doing now. Because obviously there are other games like Skyrim and Morrowind, which I do obviously want to let's play at some point, but I already have a plan in my head of when I want to do those. Basically, everything that appears here is stuff I don't really have plans for, but I could do. So anyway, there's not very many here as a result of that. It's been slimmed down a bit. So the main non-blind games I could let's play are Dragon Age Origins, Knights of the Old Republic, Thief 2, and Mount & Blade Warband. Right, Mount & Blade Warband probably be modded. Thief 2 would not be modded, because I don't think there even are any Thief mods. Knights of the Old Republic would, well, I don't really see a reason to mod that at all, because it's fine just as it is. I've played that game a few times through, and I enjoy it quite a lot. And Dragon Age Origins, which I probably would mod, actually, just because there are some very good mods for it. Mainly cosmetic ones, honestly, at the end of the day, actually. But, yeah, no, I almost didn't consider putting Dragon Age Origins on this list just because Variac just started a Let's Play of it, and I'm quite enjoying watching that, and I think 2 maybe at the same time would be a bit much for some people, honestly. But I don't know, Dragon Age Origins is a game that you can replay a lot of times, mainly because of the whole different opening origin stories. You can have 2 completely, more than 2, you could have like 3 or 4 completely and utterly different playthroughs, with different characters and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of replay value in Dragon Age Origins, as evidenced by the fact that I have spent almost 200 hours on the damn thing, according to Steam anyway. So yeah, so there's those. These are the ones that would be not blind. These are the games which I know quite well, have played extensively before, to the end, or very, very close to the end. So, that's something to consider, really, because in many ways it's easier to let's play a game that you aren't playing blind. But at the same time, it's also sometimes more exciting to play a game that you haven't played before. So anyway, those are the non-blind ones. So moving on, we have the ones which are semi-blind. This is a bit of a mixed bag, really, because this is anything between a game which I've played maybe the first couple of levels of, or a game which I've played, like, say, almost half of before, but haven't actually finished before. So in the list of semi-blind games I've got is Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. If I did start Baldur's Gate, well, not really a case of if, it's more like when, to be honest. But when I do start another Baldur's Gate Let's Play, it is going to be a kind of Baldur's Gate saga Let's Play, if you like. So I would directly follow on finishing Baldur's Gate 1 with starting Baldur's Gate 2 with the same character imported across, much in the same way you would do if you were playing, say, the Mass Effect games, so if I was Let's Playing those. So I have Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. I have... The reason they're semi-blind is because I've played quite a bit of Baldur's Gate 1, but I've never really... don't think I've ever played Baldur's Gate 2. Actually, no, that's not true. I did play Baldur's Gate 2 once, years ago. I borrowed a copy of it off a friend because he said it was really, really good, and I played sort of like about half of the opening dungeon, and that was kind of it, and I gave up on it because at the time I was a bit too young, and I wasn't entirely impressed by the dated graphics and that sort of thing, because, well, we're quite fickle like that when we're young, although that doesn't explain why I still played stuff like Thief 2 when I was young, and Age of Empires, but whatever, So, yeah, but other than that, no, I've not played any of Baldur's Gate 2. I've watched other people play it, so I know a little bit about it, but I don't know a great deal about it at all. So Baldur's Gate 2 would be almost entirely blind, but Baldur's Gate 1 I've played a fair bit of. Gothic is a game which I've put probably about maybe 20-30 hours into it, but those are very intermittent hours over a long period of time. I sporadically go back to Gothic every now and again and try and beat the damn thing and then fail or just give up or get bored of it or something like that. But it's a pretty cool game, I quite like it, and I'd like to actually be able to finish the damn thing one day so I can move on to Gothic 2 and eventually Gothic 3, which I have copies of as well because I got them on a Steam sale. That's a pretty cool game. It's like an open world type jobby from, I think it was even from, might even have been from before Morrowind was released, so it's quite a pioneering little game in that sense actually. Great world design. It's really cool like that. I have The Witcher, which I've played. Honestly, I don't know how far into that I've played because I don't know when it ends. But I've played a fair bit of The Witcher. It's a pretty awesome game. I like it a lot. I don't know why I stopped playing it last time. I think I just got distracted by something. But it's a really cool game. I like that a lot. I wouldn't mind let's playing it in the slightest. So there's that. There's both the first two Fallout games, 1 and 2. I'm not including Fallout 3 and New Vegas on here because, again, those are games which I will do at some point, but I don't necessarily want to do now. They're kind of further down the line sort of a deal. Because I have very specific ideas of what I want to do for those two games, So yeah, Fallout 1 and 2, they kind of need no real explanation at the end of the day. They're just, there they are, Fallout 1 and 2. There's Deus Ex, which I have played a bit of, kind of first two main levels, if you like, of Deus Ex. I'm not terribly good at it. It's not a game which I played back when it came out. I know a lot of people who did play it back when it came out became fanatically obsessed with it, and they think it's like the best game ever. And I can certainly appreciate that. I mean, there are mods still coming out for Deus Ex now. Years and years and years after the damn thing was released. So it's clearly a very, very good game, but I've just not personally played very much of it because the first time I played it I'll start again. The first time I played it was when it came out on GOG.com. So, yeah, I missed the bus on that one, I'm afraid, when it first came out. I also have Icewind Dale 1 and 2. I own both of those games. I don't enjoy them perhaps as much as Baldur's Gate or Planescape Torment, which is I've got on here as well, but they're still pretty cool. You can do some interesting stuff with those games, mainly because, instead of having NPC companions, you kind of make your entire party out of playable characters yourself right at the start. Planescape Torment, which is one of my favourite RPGs of all time. I think it probably would be if it were not for the existence of the Elder Scrolls games. I really like Planescape Torment, although that said, I've never quite managed to get to the end of it. I mean, it's quite a long game, and it's one of those games which I've kind of had one playthrough of, which I've intermittently come back to every now and again and played some more of whenever I felt in the mood for it, because it's an interesting game in that it's not very action heavy. It's kind of very much about reading dialogue, which has always been fine with me because I've always enjoyed dialogue in a lot of games more than the combat. For instance, like the Mass Effect games are probably a good example of that. I actually enjoyed the dialogue sections in Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 than I do. I enjoy that more than I do the actual combat. Funny enough to say, but there it is. And Planescape Torment it's one of the reasons I really enjoy that. I also have Knights of the Old Republic 2, which I've played a bit of. It's an incredibly long game, at least from the impression I got. Like, the opening level of the damn thing is hours and hours of work to get through. When you're on some sort of space mining station or something, as I recall. I've had this thing briefly on Xbox, and I got it later again for a PC, and I've played a bit of it, but not a great deal at all. If I did Let's Play that, I would, before anyone asks, be using the restored content mod or whatever to get it up to snuff, because it's famously one of those games which, like many by Obsidian, unfortunately, they weren't really able to finish because there was loads of, there was a big kerfuffle with the publisher when the thing was being developed. So, but it's still a pretty good game, and that's why it's on here. Oh, and last we have Thief Deadly Shadows, which I had on Xbox and I have on PC, which is, I think it's like the third Thief game, because you had Thief the Dark Project, you had Thief 2, and then you had this. Which, I don't know if it's as good as Thief 2 from what I remember, but it was still pretty good from what I do remember of playing it, so that's why it's on here as well. So yeah, those are the semi-blind ones, which I've played a bit of, but not completely. And lastly, we've got the totally blind ones, which I have not really played before at all. Maybe I've played like the opening 5 minutes of them or something like that, but that's literally it. In some cases I haven't even installed the damn things yet. But nevertheless, we have on here Divinity 2 Developer's Cut. Apparently the original Divinity 2 is quite awful, but the Developer's Cut, which they have on GOG.com, is supposedly, at least according to all the reviews and stuff, is actually really, really good. Because it's significantly different from the original game. Think of it as it being a bit like the difference between the original version of Kingdom of Heaven, the film, and the Developer's Cut of the film. Director's Cut of the film, which was a billion times better. I think it was that kind of a deal with this game. So anyway, I have it on GOG.com. I haven't downloaded or played it at all, but it's there. And it looks vaguely interesting, so I put it on here. We have Inquisitor, which is a top-down kind of isometric, I don't know if that's the correct word, but anyway, I'm going to go with it, kind of game. Some people quite like it. I played like about 5 or 10 minutes of it just to see if it worked on my computer and stuff like that when I first got it, and it seems interesting enough. It seems quite unique in a way, actually, because it seems very, very... It reminds me of a very old game called Darklands, in that it seems very, very, very medieval. You know, it seems almost more firmly grounded in real medieval history than it is in, you know, typical Western fantasy. Like, say something like Baldur's Gate or Icewind Dale. So it's pretty interesting from that point of view, but I barely played any of it. So, but it would be a totally blind Let's Play, so that's why it's here. I also have Jade Empire, which is one of the few BioWare games I've never actually played properly at all, ever. I've played like the opening maybe half an hour of Jade Empire. Enough for me to learn that I was a bit bad at the combat. But it seemed generally quite interesting, and it's been released on GOG.com as well now, and I've got a copy of it from there as well, and that seems like a good enough excuse as any to give it a go. I also have Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, which is not really an RPG so much as it is like a first-person stab-em-up with magic and swords in and stuff like that. It's set in like a fantasy world, but it's not, technically speaking, an RPG, I don't think, anyway. I'm not sure on that, really. I can't really remember. I played a bit of it ages ago at a friend's house, and I had a demo of it for a while. And then a little while ago, a friend actually bought a copy of this for me on Steam, and I've not, unfortunately, had a go at it yet, because it got buried under a big pile of other games which I needed to sort of try out and stuff like that, and I kind of eventually forgot about it, which I'm ashamed to say, because apparently it's quite a good game. You also have Arcanum, which was made by the guys who'd made Fallout 1 and 2, I think. That's kind of like another top-down fantasy RPG, except it's like steampunk. So it's a little bit like Thief 2 in that respect, I suppose. Looks pretty awesome, honestly, but I've not played any of it yet myself. So there you go. I also have Gothic 2 and 3 on here as well, because I own them, but haven't played them because I haven't finished Gothic yet. And Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which I hear loads of people praising quite often, actually, but I own a copy of it, but I haven't actually played it yet. So there you go. Right, okay, I don't know how long this damn video is going to be, but I felt like talking you through all that, basically. That's kind of the definitive list as of this moment of games which I could Let's Play either now or in the near future, notwithstanding the ones which I already kind of have plans for. Those kind of generally being Elder Scrolls stuff, as well as Stalker Call of Pripyat, as well as other things like Rome 2, which, you know, Rome 2 Total War, which I will probably be Let's Playing a little while after it comes out, you know, provided the game's actually any good. I mean, if it's terrible, then obviously I won't Let's Play it, but I'm severely hyped for that game, in spite of trying not to be, and I will definitely be attempting a Let's Play of that a little while after it's released. Not immediately after it's released, because one, that would probably rub some people the wrong way, because I'd be seen as trying to deliberately just try and get more views and stuff like that, which I've discovered even if you do get lots of video with lots and lots of views on it, doesn't necessarily attract the right people to the channel that you want. So, but also because it comes out literally as I move back to Norwich. So there'll be like a 2-week period again, like last time or so, where I won't be recording anything because I'll just be getting settled into my new house, basically, where I'll be living and stuff like that, unfortunately, because Creative Assembly and Sega are bastards and chose to release it at the start of September. So there you go. That's basically it. I think I've probably forgotten a whole bunch of things which I could have put in this video, but never mind. Never mind. That's what the description box is for at the end of the day. So there you go. Like I said, it's not a vote or a poll or anything like that. I'm not saying vote for which Let's Play you want to see. I'm just putting these up here so you guys can all kind of see what I've got to work with, I suppose. You know, I put up a list like this on Twitter a little while ago, pretty recently actually, now I think about it, for people to look at, but I'm aware that most of you probably don't use Twitter, and I think it's a bit unfair if I don't share it with you anyway. So there you go. There you go. That's everything. So there's this big old list of Let's Plays. There is the bit about the videos getting a bit shorter, and those other Let's Plays in Ninjas 2 and Age of Empires, I'm pretty much cancelling those. And Baldur's Gate obviously is cancelled as well, but will be rebooted at some point. Now that I'm much better at Baldur's Gate, I've played it quite a lot very recently, in fact, actually. I even started a solo run of the first game, so which was not easy, I can tell you that right now, but it was fun. So yeah, no, I feel like I can do Baldur's Gate justice now, properly. So I do want to reboot that at some point soon and do a much better job of it than I tried to last time. But anyway, so that's it. That's it. This update video is probably atrociously long, but never mind. I've said what needed to be said. And I should probably... I sometimes feel I don't even do these update videos as often as I should, but you know, whatever. This will be going into the channel updates playlist, which is at the top of the browse page on my channel, so that hopefully people do see it, because quite often people ask me questions on other videos that I've already answered in one of these updates, just because people can't seem to find them. So I've made a new playlist for these to go in, and it's at the top of the page now, where everyone should be able to see it when they click on the channel page. Of course, I don't know if people do click on the channel page very often, but whatever. So there it is. Anyway, so thanks for listening, everybody. If you've made it this far and haven't switched off out of boredom, and I'll see you pretty goddamn soon. So bye bye.